right.
Shalawam, Israel. We're here today in the Lion's Dens, bringing some edification onto our peoples, get some understanding, and knowing that's why we are in bondage here in America and what we need to do to get out of. The next lesson is Israel love oppression. We as a people, we love to be oppressed. When we go out and we are out street teaching, and we try to give us some understanding to our peoples, and they turn us away. They don't want to hear. Either they're saying, "Hey, I know about this. I know about that. I'm 60 years old. I'm 70 years old. You can't tell me anything. I've been through this already." But look, I'm at that same age, and I didn't know. So hey, we are always not too old, not too young to learn, especially when it comes to learning these laws and commandments, because we never was taught the laws and commandments. We never knew what oppression was because we thought it was this was the way of life while we're here in this country. That hey, there's nothing wrong with how we live. We're at the bottom. We're happy being at the bottom. We don't love seeing our brother rise up above us because now we think, oh, he think he's more than we are. But all of us don't think that way. Some of us don't reach back and try to bring a brother or sister up with us. But what we do when we do that, some of them reject it and say, I don't need your help. Or hey, I'm good right where I'm at. But we go look back as when Moses was in Egypt and what he done and what his people's done. Once he tried to get them and to bring them out, we're going to start at Exodus 2 and 11.
All right, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 2, verse 11. And it came to pass in those days, when Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens. And he spied an Egyptian smiting an Hebrew, one of his brethren.
Read on.
Verse 12. And he looked this way and that way. And when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand.
Keep going.
Verse 13. And when he went out the second day, behold, two men of the Hebrews strode together. And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow?
And he right there, what he was doing, he was helping his own people. He seen how they was treating us, but they didn't know who he was. Cause they thought he was Egyptians because he lived in the palace with the king. So they was saying, well, why are you worried about what's being done to us? You know, like, hey, we're okay. Read on.
Verse 14. And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us?
All right, who made you a prince and a judge over us? What do you think? Because he's happy. He's happy doing what he's doing. He's being oppressed, and now that the brothers trying to bring him out and seeing what he was done by the Egyptians, whooping them, beating them, treating them bad, and he killed them. Now he come to him and say, "Hey, who made you a prince over me?" Read on.
Intendest thou to kill me as thou killedest the Egyptian?
So hey, you gonna kill me now because I know what you did and it's out? No, he wasn't worried about doing that or killing his brother. He was there defending his brother, and he didn't even know it. Okay, let's go to Exodus 2 and 25.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 2, verse 25. And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God had respect unto them.
We'll say no. So this is something that's going to come up later in this lesson, because they said God has no respect to no man, but God did have respect unto the children of Israel, because hey, he was his chosen people, and he loved them, and that we're going to find out just how much he loved them and what they done to him, and where does this oppression really come from? All right, Exodus 16, 1 through 3.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 16, verse 1. And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came into the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after their departing out of the land of Egypt.
After, now that they're out of Egypt. Now, if you coming out of bondage, it seemed like you would be happy. You'd be thankful and thanking God and saying, hey, he finally got us out of this bondage, which we've been crying from him. And he heard us after 200-300 years. He finally hearing our voice and he's bringing us out of this. Continue.
Verse 2. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness.
Now, after all this time, soon as he get them out, what do? They go murmuring against God sent men, which it was not them they was actually murmuring against. Keep going.
Verse 3. And the children of Israel said unto them, would to God we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. For ye have brought us forth into the wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger.
Okay. So they rather go back into bondage for a little piece of bread and be oppressed again. That's got to be oppression. Because anytime you are in a land where somebody is beating you, whooping you, making you work from sun up to sundown, giving you water, giving you the food a little bit, and you satisfied with that. You okay with that?
Let me answer some on there. You're right, brother. What you're saying is 100% right. Because when you look at the situation right now in America, it's nothing different. We look at the same scenario, how we get beat with doctrines, we getting beat at our jobs, we've been separated from our houses, and then guess what? Our people are going out there and vote. They're looking for another man to come in and say, hey, yeah, or a woman, exactly. Or another woman to come in and say, hey, we about to fix your situation. Ain't nothing never been fixed. Nothing's never going to be fixed until Yahweh returns. So we're not going to see the best, right? So you know what happens while we're doing that? Instead of we saying, Lord, come and destroy this place, we say, Lord, save this place. We're praying to a false entity to say every Sunday, God bless America, continue allowing America to grow. And America did nothing for us, but built on blood, innocent blood of our people. And then using the innocent of the poor to build their country still to continue to rise. So this is this is no different. How a lot of brothers that's may not understand this Bible, they will say, they may read this here. If it was me, I'll be doing this. You're doing it now. When you don't want Christ to return and get us out of here. We should be looking for that direction, that exit out of here. We should be praying for the second Exodus. You know, we can't look at this and say, like, hey, this is our life. No, this is not our life. God said he gave us good. He gave us good blessings for our lives. This is not a blessing. This is a curse. I said, I got it on my neck.
And again, and when I said, when he said, in the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against, that wasn't against Moses and Aaron. That was against the Most High, who had just brought them out, who had showed them many wonders in Egypt, showing them how much he loved and how much he would go and do to free them, to get them from under this the oppression. Because that was the oppression they were in. And we don't even know it. That is a state of mind. You're oppressed anytime you want to stay in a situation where you're not being treated as a man or a woman, especially not being treated a child of the Most High.
Yeah, that's how their ungratefulness and unappreciativeness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it reminds you of the Django movie that Samuel Jackson that played. You know, when he was hugging on to what was his name? I forgot the
the
name.
white-
Slave Master.
You talking about Leonardo DiCaprio?
Said Sweet Tooth.
Yeah.
Oh, Sweet Tooth. Yeah, man, same thing. You know, same thing what Samuel Jackson was doing. You know, with Sweet Tooth on the movie Django. You know, our people still got that same spirit in these days and times. So.
Hey, because America made it that way, right? You got to understand, America is so powerful that it's so powerful enough to make us not even look at our God as a black man. You know what I'm saying? We so oppressed that we don't even care. You know what I'm saying? We don't care. We don't care if God is black or white, red or blue. That's what we would say. We don't be caring about that because we care about the red, white, and blue. Long as America, we look at America as the most dominant country in the world. We look at, but that's why a lot of people, even definitely our people, man, we worried about the Olympics. We worried about we worried about was the next rap song, the next video. We worried about all these things. The next when the next who the Pistons picked up, who the Lions picked up. You know what I'm saying? We looking at all these things. That's what we wait for, not knowing that we under oppression. Like America has built so much entertainment around us to the point that we don't even realize we oppressed.
Right. It's very true. Because we look at any and everything else and saying, oh, you tell them, hey, we're under, oh, I'm not oppressed. I'm free. I can do whatever I want to do. I can go wherever I want to go. Hey, I got these food stamps. I can go and buy them. Or either I can go and sell them. So, hey, you know, we think, hey, we're on top.
Yeah, that's the illusion.
That's the illusion. That's a mind thing. That's oppression and spirit war that's in your mind. Because we're going through a spiritual war. This is spiritual war that we're going through within ourselves. Because we don't see the oppression. We see the other side. What the illusion that this white man is giving us. Is saying, hey, y'all ain't doing bad. Look at the rest of the world. Y'all could be over there. Hey, what's the difference? What is the difference? Because we got a little bread, a little water, but we still being oppressed as a nation. We still at the bottom when we should be at the top. Because he promised that on to us. Let's go to Numbers 14, starting at 1.
Book of Numbers. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 1.
Chapter 14.
Oh,
14.
14. Chapter 14. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 14, verse 1. And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night.
Read.
Verse 2. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron. And the whole congregation said unto them, Would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God we had died in this wilderness?
Read.
Verse 3. And wherefore hath the Lord brought us unto this land, to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return into Egypt?
Would it not be better for us to turn back into the oppression? Into back in the same place they just come out of? They rather go back. We love to be oppressed. Even our forefathers, they love to be oppressed. They didn't even want to be free. They rather go back there and be under bondage than come out of the land and be free and they go up under the Father. Hey, they do it. They reject it. They reject him. They reject whatever he wants, the best for him, just like we do today. We out there. We go out there. They murmur against us. We telling them who we are. I ain't nothing but a nigga. Hey, I'm God. All these crazy things that they speak out and say. Hey, if you tell them the truth, they don't want to hear it. So as a people, we love to be oppressed. Continue.
You know, I was gonna say something. During slavery on the plantation, you got some of our people that wanted to run away from the plantation and get up out of that situation, and you had some of our people that wanted to stay there.
Well, yeah.
They like, I don't see nothing better out there for me. You know, where we gonna run to?
Right, right.
Hey, give me First Maccabees chapter 50. Not 50, but 40. Starting at verse 40. Let me look at it. That's exactly what our brothers was doing.
Shit, First Maccabees one.
I want verse 40.
Chapter what?
It's chapter 1. First Maccabees chapter 1. And where we at? You know what? Just go and drop it. I'm gonna get back with it later. I gotta find it.
Maybe start back at 4.
All right, this book of Numbers, chapter 14, verse 4. And they said one to another, let us make a captain and let us return into Egypt.
Same thing as they felt. And this is where this is where they felt. They kept on murmuring. They'd rather to be under bondage other than to be free and to come on. Continue on. Read 5.
Verse 5. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel.
All right. Read on.
Verse 6. And Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes.
When they even heard it, they saying God is getting ready to give us all this here. Hey, and you are still turning away from me. They will not accept what he was getting ready to do and what he had promised them. We will not do it. We rather to be oppressed. We're not happy with it being free or trying to be free or trying to get into the free land that he promised. We rather stay here in America and be oppressed. It ain't so bad here, y'all. Okay, let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's go to Deuteronomy 1. Yeah. 1 and start at 1.
Oh, verse 1.
Yeah, you'll start 1, start there in 1.
All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan in the wilderness, in the plain over against the Red Sea, between Paran and Taphael, and Laban and Hazarath, and Dazahah. Verse 2.
That's good. Good. Go to same book. Go to 1 and 21. Starting in 21.
Verse 21. Behold, the Lord thy God hath set the land before thee. Go up and possess it, as the Lord God of thy fathers have said unto thee. Fear not, neither be discouraged.
Continue.
Verse 22. And ye came near unto me, every one of you, and said, we will send men before us, and they shall search us out of the land, and bring us word again by what we must go up, and into what cities we shall come.
Continue.
Verse 23. And the saying pleased me well, and I took 12 men of you, one of a tribe. Verse 24. And they turned and went up into the mountain, and came unto the valley of Eshcol, and searched it out.
Continue.
Verse 25. And they took of the fruit of the land in their hands, and brought it down unto us, and brought us word again, and said, it is a good land which the Lord our God doth gave us.
Continue.
Verse 26. Notwithstanding ye would not go up, but rebelled against the commandment of the Lord your God.
There you go. There we go again. We're going back into that old oppression. He's he's getting ready to give us this land. And guess what? That first mind is saying, hey, they rebelling. They're going against what he's saying. He's letting them know that he is the God. He's the God of Israel. And all they have to do It's continue and go into his laws and commandments. Continue. 27.
Verse 27, and ye murmured in your tents and said, because the Lord hated us.
There you go, murmuring again. They go against the Father again. Continue.
He hath brought us forth out of the land of Egypt to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites, to destroy us.
Continue.
Verse 28, whether shall we go up? Our brethren have discouraged our heart, saying, the people is greater and taller than we. The cities are great and walled up to heaven. And moreover, we have seen the sons of Anakims there.
Continue.
Verse 29, then I said unto you, dread not, neither be afraid of them. Verse 30, the Lord your God, which goeth before you, he shall fight for you, according to all that he did for you in Egypt before your eyes.
Continue.
Verse 31, and in the wilderness, where thou hast seen how that the Lord thy God bare thee, as a man doth bear his son, in all the way that ye went until ye came into this place.
Continue.
Verse 32, yet in this thing ye did not believe the Lord your God.
There again, we still doing the same thing. We still rather be sent into suppression other than to take the Father on his word. We'll take somebody else, another nation, and take his word and saying in the promises that they give us, but we won't take the only true living God on what he says. We'll dismiss what he says and take this next nation who's right over us and pull us in, but we don't know we're being pulled into oppression again. Continue.
Verse 33, who went in the way before you to search you out a place to pitch your tents in fire by night, to shew you by what way ye should go, and in a cloud by day.
That's the shot. Yahweh shot. Now he putting the son into the scene, letting him know, hey, this who's bringing us through this. This who's carrying us. All this time we got, it's Yahweh shot. He's the leader. He's the one who the Father sent to get us out of the land, to bring us into the wilderness, and who's providing for us. Continue.
Verse 34, and the Lord heard the voice of your words, and was wroth, and sware, saying.
Continue.
Verse 35, surely there shall not one of these men of this evil generation see that good land, which I swear to give unto your fathers.
Okay, now we so rebellion. He even told our fathers, our first fathers, hey, none of y'all going into this land. Because every time I got to do something to show you, I am the God of Israel. Hey, I got you. They don't want it. They still want to go back. Their mind is still setting on Egypt. They still want to go back to this land. That's where they come from, back into bondage again, back into poverty, where they had nothing and wasn't nothing coming to them. Oh. Let's go to Deuteronomy 8. We're going to go through 8, 1 through 20.
Hey, that shows you right there in that chapter. They could have got out. They could have been out of the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
They could have got out of there, but they had fear.
Mm-hmm.
They had fear. Oh, they made so much complaints. They're taller than us. The city looked better than us. You know, because the Anakims, they were renowned people, right? They were famous of the height and being tall, being war figures. You know, they were those type of people. So this is where we have to look in our lives, that we have to believe and have faith in Yahweh. It's all about faith. That right there was the act of faith. Mm-hmm. But they didn't put the act of faith in. He said, hey, I'm going to fight you. I'm going to put you in that land. He got us out of Egypt. And only thing we can think of that he's here to come and to kill us. Mm-hmm. Instead of thinking of like, man, he's about to give us to a better place, give us our own land, and we can operate in that land and start doing what we need to do. Start growing our families again. Start getting our vegetables, our crops, our businesses going. God was trying to get us back in order. But we would have so much fear, and still to this day, that's why we can't get ahead. Because instead of we repenting and saying like, hey, we the Israelites and we got to keep the laws, we fear that we're missing out of the the so-called kingdom that the Christianity is pushing out. We believe in that, hey, if I follow this, then hey, I might go to hell because I ain't never heard of this. They believe that it's a white savior, right? They believe it's a white savior. We tell them it's a black savior. They don't want to hear that because they're thinking they have a fear to change. You know, a fear to change to make a difference in their household, a fear to change for family members and friends. They thinking they're gonna miss out on something. It's a bunch of fear. This is exactly why we know we're the Israelites. Because same thing while we are in this big old wilderness, we have our people having fear in every excuse that why we can't repent. I'm gonna lose my job. You know, my wife gonna leave me. My husband gonna hate me. My children gonna depart from me. All that's fear. Same thing as the Israelites in the wilderness.
Right.
Man,
And that's why we're in the position right now, because we don't trust the God. We still are in fear. We have the spirit of fear that's upon us. And why do we have that spirit of fear? Because we would not believe and would not keep his laws and commandments. And let's continue reading. We're going to see this right here in 8.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 1. All the commandments which I command thee this day shall ye observe to do, that ye may live and multiply, and go in and possess the land which the Lord swore unto your fathers. Verse 2. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no.
Okay, there we go right there. There's one instance right there. Because right there, he's telling you, hey, he had brought you out the way. He had showed you everything that he had to do, even in the wilderness. And we was out there 40 years. And he wanted to see, were we humble yet? Are we willing to lay down and say, hey, we trust you? Hey, whatever you have for us, now we're ready. Let's continue on that.
Verse 3. And he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread only, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Lord doth man live.
Let every word that proceed out of man be true, out of the God be true, and every man a liar. So, hey, do we do that? No. We proceed to take every word out of the man Esau's mouth to be true, and God's a liar. So something is wrong with that. That's backwards. When we say, hey, God say that, no, they say, no, the white man say, hey, we got to do this. Hey, if we don't do this, we ain't going to get this. Or he's going to take this away from us. But if we trust in God, because, hey, a lot of us brothers right here, we have been through some hard times. Hey, and we put our trust in the Most High. And guess what? 99% of the time, the Most High is going to come through. He's going to come through one way or another. It might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but he's coming. All you have to do is keep that faith, prayed up, fast, and he's going to bring it to you. Continue.
100% of the time.
Verse 4.
Yeah, you're right.
Verse 4. Thy raiment wax not old upon me, neither did thy foot swell these 40 years. Verse 5. Thou shalt also consider in thine heart that as a man chasteneth his son, so the Lord thy God chasteneth thee.
So, all right. So, hey, if we chastise ourselves, guess what he's doing to us? He's chastising us. Why? Because of no belief. Hey, hey, I'll tell you to do this. Hey, no, I'm going to do it that way. So, well, guess what? He's going to whoop you. And we're being whooped right now because we won't listen. We decide we want to go our way. We don't want to, hey, we love it right here in bondage. We love being oppressed. So God, we don't want that. That's the ones who don't know God. But the ones here and in this truth and belief, they know Him. They're learning Him. And how do you do this? By reading His Word and keeping His laws, commandments, and His statutes. That's where you get your belief and your faith. That's what builds you up. That's how you prove yourself. I can't prove myself to either one of these brothers. I have to prove myself to me. And then because the Father knows who's working, who's proving, who's out there doing his work, who's out there trying to bring somebody in. He knows that. He don't have to be told or see it, because his angels are here. We have angels every day who follow us, who knows what we're doing, knows what we're saying, know how we treat each other, know how we treat our children, our wives, our brothers. He knows all that. So there's nothing that's being hid. Continue.
Verse 6. Therefore thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways and to fear him.
To fear him. We have to fear God. We can't be like, hey, he's a God not to be feared. And this is what we have come to do as a people and as a nation of people. We don't fear the Most High no more. We think we can do whatever he wants, and that, hey, we ain't got to worry about it because he's not going to do nothing. He loves us. No, hey, and that's not. God is the church's man. He's a man not to be played with. He's a God that tells you, hey, I'm a jealous God. I'm a God who will bring vengeance on you and for you. But you have to keep these laws, commandments, and statutes. Continue.
Verse 7. For the Lord thy God bringeth thee into a good land, a land of brooks of water, of fountains and depths that spring out of valleys and hills. Verse 8. A land of wheat and barley and vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of oil, olive, and honey. Verse 9. A land wherein thou shalt eat bread without scarceness. Thou shalt not lack anything in it. A land whose stones are iron, and out of whose hills thou mayest dig brass.
He let you know right now. All these minerals right here are minerals that brings on money. He's letting us know, hey, he's going to provide. He's going to make a way we can provide for ourselves because we sold and gave on to other nations who was buying these things or who would buy them. So he's letting us know he's making a way because these is everything they're using. Do we think iron and brass is just being used? Iron and brass was being used back then. They were using it. It was a mineral that they could be sold and be used and be changed for different goods. Continue.
Verse 10. When thou hast eaten and art full, then thou shalt bless the Lord thy God for the good land which he hath given thee. Verse 11. Beware that thou forget not the Lord thy God, in not keeping his commandments and his judgments and his statutes, which I command thee this day. Verse 12. Lest when thou hast eaten and art full, and hast built goodly houses and dwelt therein. Verse 13. And when thy herds and thy flocks multiply, and thy silver and thy gold is multiplied, and all that thou hast is multiplied, then thine heart be lifted up, and thou forget the Lord thy God, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
Okay, there we go. We come in there, he bringing us and telling us what we got coming and where we just come from. But do we recognize that and believe that? No. We still set in that mind that, hey, it's better to be oppressed than come and get what the Most High has for us. Continue.
Verse 15. Who led thee through that great and terrible wilderness, wherein were fiery serpents and scorpions and drought, where there was no water, who brought thee forth water out of the rock of flint. Verse 16. Who fed thee in the wilderness with manna, which thy fathers knew not, that he might humble thee, and that he might prove thee, to do thee good at thy latter end. Verse 17. And thou say in thine heart, my power and the might of mine hand have gotten me this wealth.
All right. So what do we do now? We thinking, hey, well, everything we got it. We got it on our own. No, we don't have anything that we got on our own. The Most High has provided everything that we have. The house you're in, Now you have a job you have to go to, but who provided it for you? Who provided that job for you? Where do this currency come? It comes from him. All things that's created on this earth was for him, made by him, for us. The world was made for us. It's not made for any other nation. We are the pillars of him who wants and go for it. You shouldn't have to go and want for anything. But guess what? We don't want that.
It's like that's the stubbornness,
Mhm.
right? It says, "I said in that heart, my power and the might of my hand had gotten me this wealth." You know, like that's stubbornness.
Yeah.
That's wicked. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
wicked,
They're
that's
not
stubborn.
giving the Most High no credit.
Right, yeah.
People say it all the time. We at camp, they literally come up. I ain't, shout out to the name of the lesson. I ain't oppressed. You know what I'm saying? I'm free. You know what I'm saying? I got this, I got that. Okay, well, what about you got a little cousin, you know what I'm saying, that might be 24 years old. What he got? Do he got the same car you got?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Do he got the same house and living the same way you living? You know, you as rich as your brother that's right next to you. So if your brother ain't got what you got, then you still poor.
We's free.
Right. We don't see that. Continue.
Verse 18. But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth.
Right. He's the one who provide and make sure that we have everything, even in this land right here. Even though we're in bondage, we don't have what we should have. We're not where we're supposed to get, but he still provides for us. He still brought us out of a land that we was in bondage, oppressed, and still brought us out. And he's still taking care of us, even though he took care of us when we was in Egypt. He's the one who provided for us. And he's doing it even now as we have left the wilderness. Continue.
That he may establish his covenant which he sware unto thy fathers as it is this day. Verse 19, and it shall be, if thou do at all forget the Lord thy God, and walk after other gods, and serve them and worship them, I testify against you this day that ye shall surely perish.
And that's what we done. And that's what they done once they left the wilderness. They started worshiping and giving their glory to the other gods. And they thought, hey, we can say this other God he provided for us. And then they had these idols in the tent with them. They were still worshiping these other gods, even after he brought them out of Egypt. It was still, because it's still a part of being oppressed. That is still a oppression part that you have. You don't even know you're oppressed because you're worshiping another God, because your mind is still set back into being in an oppressed stage. Continue.
Verse 20, as the nations which the Lord destroyeth before your face, so shall ye perish, because ye will not be obedient unto the voice of the Lord your God.
We will not keep his laws, commandments, and the statutes. So for us to get back on where we need to be at and come out of this oppression, the laws and commandments and the statutes is the key. Until that, we're going to stay oppressed. We're going to stay oppressed even in our minds. That we're oppressed physically, we know that. Because there's nothing. We're on the bottom of everything. But we're oppressed in our minds. We have war within ourselves and we don't even know it. Because we think we're free. Oh, I'm not oppressed. I'm good. You're oppressed. And you don't even know you're oppressed. And being oppressed daily. Because, yeah, you go out here, you're oppressed. You go out here and you got to worry about who's behind you. That's a part of oppression. You got to worry about, hey, I got to pay a car note. I got to pay a house note. That's oppression. Because that's anytime you being oppressed and you have to worry about that, that's part of being oppressed. Because you're in that oppressed stage. All right, let's go to Leviticus 26, starting at 1. All right.
All right, this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 1. Ye shall make you no idols nor a graven image, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land to bow down unto it, for I am the Lord your God.
And that's what we do here. We have took on Christianity. We are bowed down to another God, the same God who got us out of bondage, and yet we still don't trust him enough to still to bring these other images with us. Our forefathers did, not us. Our forefathers who still brought them out, who were still worshiping another God other than still worshiping the Most High, Yahweh, the only true living God. Continue. Go to let's go to two.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with us bowing down to all of these images and stuff like that, you see it. What is that in Catholicism or Catholic with Mary? You know, you got Mary statues all over the place. You got that big, huge Caesar Borgia statue down there in Brazil. You know that people bowing down to, going to all the time.
They brought that one up. I kicked that lightning hit it, knocked it down.
Yeah, they got the Jesus statue all over the place.
Right.
We sit up there, we bow down to these things all the time.
And they doing it with with these movies, these cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know that these things evolve.
Right.
They evolve these things. It's crazy, you know what I'm saying? And that's how, like, when Priest first went into the whole Krampus thing and how it even got into Peter Pan and all of that. Like, man, it's crazy how stuff evolved. You don't even think stuff is what it is because we don't care about history. It don't matter to us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you don't know where you come from and the things that was before, it's gonna be hard to even see these things and be like, dang, they trying to get us. You know what I'm saying? And it starts when we're young as kids.
Yeah, history is important because history is a thing where you're gonna repeat all of the stuff that was going on back then, and you can correct all of the things in the present time.
Hey, it goes right back in the wilderness. Like, think about it. We coming right out of Egypt. So you have to think that our mindset, even though we was oppressed and we knew that we had hard bondage, some of them knew like, hey, we ready to get out of here.
Right.
You had some of them like, I love this place. I don't want to leave out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because some of them were in the Pharaoh field. You know what I'm saying? Some of them was probably in there working with Pharaoh, making the good money. You can call them house niggas. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing that they were having. So they feel like I live better than them. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm living it up. I don't see nothing wrong. Pharaoh treat me good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So think about they coming out of there, coming in the wilderness, and then you got Moses bringing on a whole new movement. And they got to sit there and listen like, oh, man, this is boring. I want to go back. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go back and obey God. I want to do Pharaoh's my God.
Right. Yeah.
Then because you got some of the other nations that was in there, you know what I'm saying, listening on, you probably have some of them still cool with them. Don't want to let them go. It's still same thing in America. When this next Exodus happen, man, think about how hard it's really going to be. Think about really how hard it's going to be. Ain't no more of these cell phones.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be now. You ain't gonna be able to look on your phone and be when you get bored, or when you don't want to interact. That's what Israel do. When we don't want to talk to nobody, we pick up our phone and just start typing in things because
we doing something.
Yeah, we're antisocial people. But
right.
as long as if we talk about sports, we talk about music, we talk about girls, or we all in. It's the same thing with women. If it's about gossip, it's about whatever this woman is doing, man, we all on that. Think about when God say we ain't bringing none of that. No more video games, no more cell phones, no more TVs. These are all oppressions that built us for this wilderness. This is why the wilderness is gonna be tough. Because we're building oppression in our minds, not even knowing, because this is our go-to. So when we don't got that, imagine what we got. Nothing but trees and woods and greens everywhere. And we looking like, hey, I got to figure out how to learn how to cut the tree down, learn how to make my tent, learn how to...
Fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna go start a fire. Man, I want to go back. All I needed to get a stove. It was easy. You know what I'm saying? Or is I'm gonna take a shower the right way. I don't even know what kind of plants. You know, we gotta relearn everything.
Right,
How
yeah.
to
That
hunt,
stuff,
how
how
to
to
hunt for
hunt.
food,
Absolutely.
fish, all that.
Yeah.
And not only hunt, you gotta learn how to shave the hair off.
Yup.
Now,
You know what I'm saying? Start cut it up,
But the meat,
everything.
Right.
there's certain parts of that meat you can't let touch that hair, can't touch the meat because it spoils it. You know, you can't let it touch it. You lay back down
Gotta
on the
learn
meat.
how to pull all the insides out.
You know,
And like when you, I was watching all that stuff when we went, you know, during Passover, the first year,
Yeah.
we joined, and you see him pulling all of that stuff out. You know, so all of the gallbladders, the whatever
the
you
liver, all that that's in
he's
there.
pulling all of that
So
stuff
they
out.
gotta come out of there.
And you don't know what's what. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
You,
yeah.
by you not knowing, you mess around and pull something out, it's sitting there eating something you ain't got no business eating.
Absolutely. That's why this is gonna be tough, man. We can't.
Yeah.
This is gonna be something that just imagine what they went through. We going through the same thing, but this time we don't have no electronic devices. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna learn how to survive by instance, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And Shema said you got Deuteronomy chapter 4.
Well, that's something you have to deal with. As long as you don't take away us oppression, he's so all good.
Verse 26.
He wanted Deuteronomy 4:26.
4:26. Let's finish with this. Then we'll go to Deuteronomy 4:26.
All right, the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 2. Ye shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Lord. Verse 3. If ye walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them. Verse 4. Then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit.
All right. Right there, when we go back to the Sabbath. I had family members, and a family member, he was listening to white Esau, and he was explaining, oh, you can do the Sabbath on any day, Sunday or Saturday, which the Bible tells you the Sunday is the first day of the week, and you look on your calendar and see Sunday is the first day of the week. And this is a thing that has us so oppressed because we're not keeping the right day. We're not keeping this day. We're not sanctifying it. We're doing it a whole different day. And then when we get up in that church or something going on, oh, Jesus, help me, help me, help me. And then, hey, that's another oppression. You're being oppressed because he's not telling you the right way to preach and to get the understanding of the God, of our God, who's, hey, on this Sabbath, you keep it holy. There's no work, there's no cooking, there's no buying, there's no selling. Hey, and guess what we do? We go right out, go to the grocery store, and then when you go up in there, you buy something which you shouldn't be buying anything. Anyways, now you get there, you ain't got enough money. Oppression. Now you oppressed again. Oppression is coming up on you again. When you even going against the law when you don't even supposed to be doing it. We're going into the same oppressive stage that everything we do is oppressed because we're not doing what the Most High says to do. Continue.
Verse 5. And your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time. And ye shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely.
If we would have kept the laws and commandments, we would not have been depressed. We would have been eating the foods that we should have been eating. We would have been keeping the Sabbath, its high and holy days. Because we didn't, now we're still oppressed. We're still being oppressed. Even within ourselves, within our own congregation. Even while we were out there in the wilderness, we was being oppressed because we was oppressing each other. Because we didn't know how to be free. That oppression is always going to be with us until we come back under these laws, commandments, and the statutes. Continue.
Verse 6. And I will give peace in the land, and ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid.
Aren't we afraid when we leave? Aren't we afraid when we get in the car? We're oppressed. We get scared. That's a part of oppression. We're worried about what happens to us once we leave our house. We get into a car, we see a police come up behind us. First thing, you get scared. That's part of being oppressed. You oppressed. You scared. Your enemy have you scared. You can't even be safe in your own car, in your own house. Because if he come in there, he gonna take you. Now he's gonna do something to you, take you to jail, beat you, and whatever. Hey, that's part of oppression. That's part of being oppressed. We shouldn't be scared. We shouldn't have no fear of each other walking down the street, walking in our neighborhood, or either walking out there in the suburbs. Because they should be looking down, looking at us, and we should be looking down at them. We are the kings and queens of the earth. We shouldn't be oppressed. They should ones who should be worried about, hey, if they're going to eat, if they're going out, we're going to do something to them. It's a whole different, it's turned around a whole different way. When we should be on top and them on the bottom. Continue.
And I will rid evil beasts out of the land, neither shall the sword go through your land. Verse 7, and ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. Verse 8, and 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight.
Wouldn't that build you up right there? Would you not have that impression on you that this is the way they coming on us because we don't have military might? We would be the greatest and the strongest military on this earth. And then we won't even have to have a military because, hey, they're going to be scared of us just by sight. We don't lift up anything. God's going to put that fear into them automatically.
Fear is already in them when these things coming together. That's when you come ready to kill.
Yeah.
You know, threat. They lie. They don't listen to them because they're on the building that been destroyed, and they see the spirit, and they almost hide behind this. So they see us moving. They see us how we operate. You know what I'm saying? You know, even like when the biggest camp look like LOIC. When they see them marching down the street, they see them like they walking in order. They walking in unison. They like, whoa, this ain't good. What's going on?
Right.
Shake the earth. Everybody stopped. Remember when IUIC and them was walking down that street? Man, you had people outside stopping, looking. Because like I'm talking about our own people.
Right.
We just sitting there look amazed and shocked. Because we don't know the right order.
We never knew it. And now that we're starting to come into it through the Most High, hey, if that fear is coming up on these other nations. It's coming up on America because now these things that they're getting ready to put in law to come against us, hey, they're going to take, first of all, they want to take this game. Then they're going to want to take us off the corners where they can't get anything fat. And then guess what? Then we're going to fall into chaos. Because the chaos will be within ourselves, first of all, before we can come back together. Because now, hey, we're going to be out here fighting and killing each other more than ever. Then all they figure they have to do, which they're going to do, they're going to start coming down neighborhood just right now, shooting at random. Because if we're not together in this neighborhood, we're going to be oppressing each other so much that, hey, we're going to be killing each other over something, even over the food, water, clothing over our back. That's oppression. But who is the oppressor? That's yet to come. We're going to find out who the true oppressor is. Continue.
And your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. Verse 9, for I will have respect unto you and make you fruitful and multiply you and establish my covenant with you.
There he goes again. Who does he have respect unto? The Israelites. He's constantly telling us. We are the only people that he has respect unto. He has respect unto us because he loves us. He created us in his image. We are the true gods on this earth. But the other nations, but we don't know it, but the other nations, they know. Why do they keep us apart? Why do they keep us depressed? To keep us from coming together. That's oppressive. That's being oppressed. When you can't go and look in your brother in the eye and saying, hey, bro, I love you. Hey, you my brother, let's come together. We have to worry about that. Somebody's coming line next. Now you think you at ease? If that ain't oppression, that's oppression. You're being oppressed still by your own peoples.
I see why people who consider themselves as Christians, they don't want to deal with the Old Testament because it's a clear that is speaking exactly directly to a certain type of people.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't, see yourself in that, you ain't gonna want to deal with it. You don't instantly want to go straight to the New Testament to something that favors you or whatever, or something that makes you feel good in Proverbs or Psalms or something like that, bits and pieces of whatever chapter or verse that you may like or whatever. I see exactly why people love Christianity.
The furthest they go back is Deuteronomy 14 with the tithing law, and they don't even teach that right. That's the furthest they go back. They don't teach that thing right now.
Ain't trying. Yeah, Malachi.
Right.
Right.
They got to go into the old. That's the only time, because everything else, like you said, I'm with you on that. Like it benefits them. They see that God is for everyone on here or the world. John 3:16. It makes a big difference for our people. We really look at that as the hope, and not realizing this from Genesis to Malachi to Matthew to Revelation. That's all our hope right there.
Right. Yeah.
We're settling for less. We still settling for less. We thinking that the New Testament is the middle of the book. Is that what we accept? So when we go back into the other books in the Old Testament, we look at see, that was a long time ago. I ain't with that. I'm with right now where I can do whatever I want and I can live under grace. So I can still act like a heathen. I can still act like Israelites in the wilderness. I can still act like however I want to act. I don't have to change my ways. I can still do my ways and love God the way I want to love Him.
Right.
And they don't even look at the whole New Testament, so-called New Testament.
Right.
You get the Revelation.
Right about that.
New Testament stop at Revelation for them.
Right.
They don't want to hear about them doom and glooms.
And then the scary part about that in the New Testament, not first they debunk God. That's why, because this is the God right here. All this in the law is all from God. They debunk that. So then they jump on Christ's bandwagon. Then they be like, you know what? I like Paul's better over here. And then you know what? That what Paul said it like that, but what did Christ say? They go back and forth with Paul and Christ. They confused.
All right. Yeah.
They have no knowledge.
Verse 10.
Understand.
Verse 10. And ye shall eat old store and bring forth the old because of the new.
We could be bringing that if we was keeping these laws and commandments, have the old and eat that. But yet we won't worry about what we had because we got something coming right back in. We're not going to worry about not having bread from this day into the next day. Guess why? Because we're keeping these laws and commandments. He's going to provide that new bread. It's always going to come in. And that's even in coming into the laws and commandments and statutes. Because every time we join and we learn, it's a new law that we didn't know. Now, hey, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start doing this new law. That's the new bread. Because we don't know the new law, all the laws. Because when we hear something that's new to us. Because we haven't even been doing all the bread. Because we're still learning babies. We're still learning. Even though on the Sabbath teaching everybody else, we're still learning. Even though we going through the book, we can pick up on something. No, look, I ain't even looking. I didn't see that. I didn't notice that. When you get the understanding and you see that, hey, he's talking about the new bread, the word. Still talking about the words that, hey, you don't know all the laws yet. But hey, that bread is new bread that's coming into you. That's enlightens your body, enlightens your soul. So that's getting us straight and getting us back. Hey, that we can come out of this depression. Because his word is not going to let us stay oppressed. His word is the word that gives us uplift, that gives us hope, because that's what he sent his son for, that we may have hope that the Most High will keep his word and bring us into our own land. Get us out of this oppressive bondage that we're in right now, because he knew we was going to be here. He knew we was going to be oppressed when we come over here to this new land. That when they came and got us, they gonna oppress you again. You was oppressed in Egypt? Hey, they getting ready to do worse in Egypt. You gonna be in a oppressed mood that, hey, you lay down, you oppressed, you get up, you oppressed. That ain't no way to live. We oppressed either way we go. When we lay down with oppression on us. We get up being oppressed by this nation and their laws, in their beliefs, in their Christianity. Hey, that's oppressive once you come into this truth. Because once you know this word and you come in and you start doing it, and you can see, hey, I feel a whole lot better. I even feel better about myself knowing that who I am. Because I didn't know. I didn't know I was just like, I was just a African American nigga. Where every time you look around the street here, hey, go back to Africa. Nigga, nigga, nigga. Hey, now that, hey, we can stand up and say, hey, we Israelites. We are the chosen people that God chose for us. That's starting to bring us out of that oppression. I'm not as oppressed as I used to be before I come into this street. Yes, I do have a oppression mood. I'll get into oppressive times because I'm still here. Because we go stay in oppression because we're not into our land. We're not able to worship our God like we want to and like we should. Continue.
Hey, let me read that verse 9 again, brother.
Verse 9?
I'm still like it, verse 10.
Oh, book of Leviticus chapter 26, verse 10. And ye shall eat old store.
Right.
Bring...
So the old story, that's talking about your food, right? Mm-hmm. Your harvests and all that, etc., right? So think about it. Like right now, what do we have right now? You know what I'm saying? Some of our people don't have nothing to eat. Some of our people don't have plenty to eat at all. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
And bring forth the old because of the new.
So that's a saying that our food will last a lot longer. Right now, our food is being oppressed. Like the fruits don't last long.
Right.
No, nothing.
Exactly. None of it lasts long.
Get a banana, that mug dead the next day.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I would say that's there. I give it about a couple hours.
Right, man. It don't take much, man, because it's not the real kind of fruit that's really supposed to be provided for us, right? They're not giving us the real nutrients and all that out of these fruits. This thing, all that's been tampered with. So he's saying that when you go in that land, because you keep my commandments, you ain't gonna do without food. Everybody's gonna eat. Because remember, what did he say? When we all built our when we all get our lands and we start building up our crops, we had to save some for the poor, right? Mm-hmm. Or we said some for the stranger, right? Because the stranger, he may come in town, he be like, man, I want to stop on by to give me some to eat for such house. He go pick something from the ground and go ahead and get something. He got something to eat, something to snack on. So we always have food. In America, man, we got people looking for food of our people. Starvation on corners.
And this is how you know Esau is the devil, because Esau take it all.
Absolutely.
You come buy it from me.
God.
Directly against the law that you just quoted.
God. And that's what that is, man. We just got to understand the Most High literally saying that we shouldn't be starving on the streets. We shouldn't be looking hungry because we would have food that we can consider like leftovers. We can have leftovers that can last for like a year. And then we got new stuff coming in to replenish it again. And then we can throw the rest out or whatever, how we wanted to do. But we always have food. Always going in.
All praises. Continue.
Verse 11. And I will set my tabernacle among you, and my soul shall not abhor you.
I will set my laws amongst you. And you will not turn away from us. Because once you put the laws in among us, we will have love for each other. There will be no more shooting and killing. No more dishonoring our mother and our father. Disrespecting our wives, our husbands. And even pouring out our children, our daughters. We're doing that. We're pouring out our daughters. We got them dressed in a way that's whorish. We got some of them even turning our young sons out to be women's, putting them in dresses, making them thinking they're female. Tell her, hey, it's okay for you to carry that purse around. And you're in the house, you go up there and play with my purse. That's craziness. I was at a house working, and the girl had her son, he's about 3 years old, had his drawers on backwards. So I told him, I said, man, you know you got your drawers on backwards. And he said, no, my mama put them on like that way. I said, what? And she looked at me when I said that. It wasn't nothing against me, what she was doing. She had hatred for that man.
Yeah.
So I can't get you back. I'm gonna make your son gay. Because she was gay. She was out there being a dyke. So guess what she done? The only way she could get back at him is turn that little boy around. Making him think, hey, my split supposed to be in the back. That's craziness. And this is what's happening to us. This is what's going on in our neighborhoods, in our communities, with our peoples. And we don't even understand. So it's not only that this white man is turning us, we're turning it against ourselves because we have hatred for each other. That mother have a hatred for her husband or her boyfriend, who should have been her husband, but for her man. Because now he left, he was somebody else. But at the same time, she was another woman. It might have been dealing with another woman all the time. And he found out. So that's the evil eye we have between the wife and the bosom of our husband. That's the evil eye. Now we have a hatred for our children because that little boy looked like the father. So, there's only way I can get him back. I know how to get him back. Turn his son into a big gay. Now he'll wonder what happened to his son. Oh, because I wasn't there, that might be a reason. But you don't know what she just doing to that boy up in the house. We got to think about these things. These things are something that goes on. These things are what you say making you oppressive. You want to be oppressed. How you want to get oppressed? Come to your house and your son dressed up carrying his purse around. First thing you want to do is jump on. That's oppressive. That would make me oppressive. If I go out the house, I have to think about my son. When I leave out the house, what's she doing to him? Now I'm oppressed. I'm under oppression. The same thing. So we doing this, like I say, they're oppressing us, but we also oppressing ourselves because we will not open this book. We will not get the understanding of the Most High. We go against him, saying it's okay to be gay. I heard that on the radio, on the Olympics, on the radio. Oh, ain't nothing wrong with it being gay. What? God said differently. But you on the radio saying that it's okay to be gay, and you a star. But guess why you that star? Because you go against the Most High yourself. You believe that.
They're afraid America turn their back on them. You
Yeah.
gotta agree with American policies. Because if once we disagree with American policies, oh yeah, that's when all hell breaks loose. So that's why we have to go against American policies because we know who we are. We know who our God is. So what the hell would America say, the police say, whoever, we know that we're going to defend them upside down. We're going to stand 10 toes, no matter what. But when you don't have that, guess what? You got this white man as your God, making you feel like if you don't say these things that we agree on, I'm going to cut your money off. I'm going to cut everything off that you need of your resources. That's going to be your God. He's going to turn his back on you. And now, who you out there with? You ain't got nobody to defend you. Because this white man, when he turns his back on you, it's already, you're done. When you don't know God. Got to come back. Everybody got to come back to God's laws,
See,
man.
they got your boy now. They got Busta Rhymes now, man.
All right.
I see
Yeah, the dress, man.
Free song posted. Yeah. He had the red dress on, man.
Crazy.
Who knew?
Busta Rhymes.
What?
Money running short.
Gangster.
Yeah.
Yeah, money running short. So they gotta do that to keep that money going. In order to make my money, I have to do strange thing for change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's something even them who's doing it oppressed because they gotta have money. Now you think you ain't oppressed because they gotta put in check unless it's just that way. But hey, even a gay person is oppressed
That's right.
because some of them don't want to be gay, but their spirit is upon them. How can you get that spirit off you unless you got a man of God, true man of God, and God is praying for you, and that you're willing to listen and come up out of it and be around like-minded men. Because if you don't, if you go back and be around with these men that you've been dealing with, you're going to stay in that same state of mind. You got to come around the men who know the word of God, who teaching the word, and who's learning. Because that means he can give you some understanding. Give you, hey, this ain't what God has for you. He has greater and better things. But hey, we don't. We want to leave out here with a gate and go back into another gay house. So hey, they'll never have it, and you ain't got to out to the preacher. He ain't gonna tell you that. He's gonna tell you it's okay. Come join my choir. Now you can jump around and shake and do the squats and everything else in front of me.
And see all the dudes working together.
Yeah.
You know, so many gay dudes in
Hey,
the
you
choir,
crazy.
Christian church, man,
Yeah.
that stuff.
And they saying it's okay. There ain't anything for them to draw a crowd because it's nothing but a big time show. You ain't got to go up here and see Beyonce and them. Go to church. You can see them, all them right up there. Because they doing the same thing Beyonce. You got some great singers up in there. Men and women, but hey, they're doing the same thing they're doing out there in Hollywood. Woman on woman, man on man.
That's Hollywood.
Preaching with both of them. One boy tonight, the girl the next night. Hey, it's wicked. That's impressive. Anytime your child come home and tell you, oh, the preacher, he undid my pants. You think you ain't got that young boy depressed? You don't know what's going on now. He's depressed. You don't know how to deal with it. That puts him in an oppressive mood. That ain't what I'm gonna do. My mama ain't gonna believe me. Ain't nobody in church gonna believe me. No, he going around depressed.
The preacher is God
Yeah.
in the church.
Can't say nothing against him.
Can't go with himself.
Man, I tell them, I catch some preachers being caught in the backseat with boys. What was y'all doing? We wasn't doing nothing but talking. With y'all pants down? Even the police did it. And that's what he say. He said, oh, I know what you're doing. No, we weren't doing nothing. He's doing all this stuff. Big time preacher. That's what he did. Hey, he went to jail, pleaded, and he went back out preaching in his church. Gave him that money, and they let him go.
You know it's weird with them, man. Anytime you gotta go in there to confess your sins in a box to another man, that's weird, man. That's kind of weird.
That's right. Go to 15, go to 15, 17.
Like one time, right? Man, I said this who was doing it, but it was this, he was gay. He was messing around with one gay dude and messing around with another gay dude, and he's supposed to be the pastor of the church, and he had a wife.
Yeah. I don't mean anything. They still do it. Because that ain't nothing but a front. You get up in that church, get them to vote him in as a pastor. Once they vote him in, and he get them to send that money, hey, he do whatever he want to.
Or be a power bottle.
Yeah. All right, continue.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 15. And if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul or my covenants, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant. Verse 16. I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart. And ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemy shall eat it.
And that's what's happening. Everything that we do, our enemy is living better than we are. And you're doing all the labor. We're getting pennies on the dollar. He's getting a whole dollar and some. And then, hey, we can't even get a raise. As soon as we get a raise, it goes up. Not only that goes up, the food goes up, our insurance goes up, the rent goes up, and he's getting the bulk of the money. So when you come into our neighborhoods, we're still at the bottom on anything we do. Continue.
Verse 17. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursueth you.
And that's what it says. Did he turn his face against us? Yes, he did. Yeah, right. Because we turned against him. He said, I will turn my face on you until you come back and acknowledge your iniquities, our sins. But we'll say, oh, I don't sin. I don't lie. Hey, I don't cheat on my wife.
I don't eat pork.
I treat my kids good. All lies. He said, what man don't lie? And you hear a whole lot, I don't lie. I ain't never lied. That's my mama. That's my sister. That's a lie right there.
What about Christmas?
All of it. So if we go in for it, and he said he would put our enemies over us. And that's where we've been since we've been here in this land. And we put our enemies over us in the past. Syria, Rome, Greece, all these nations and the other nations, they was over us. Why? Because we wouldn't keep his laws and commandments and his statutes. So this is not our first time in bondage. We've been in bondage ever since we come out of Egypt. Because we love to be oppressed. We love for other nations to be over top of us. I don't care what we do. I mean, it's not all of us, but the majority of us, we love to be oppressed. We will not keep his laws and commandments. We bring in them other nations start doing their laws, worshiping their gods, and everything else. That put us back in pressure. Even impressed whoever don't want it. We still have to go into it because as a nation, we went against God. So we have to suffer the same judgments as they do. Even though we know the laws and commandments of people, guess what? We got to stay here and deal with it. The same as our brothers and sisters who's not keeping laws and commandments, who's not trying to change. We still have to wait for that 1/3 and for the Most High to send his son, Yahweh Shai, to get us out of this. Because we can't do it for ourselves. Because we won't do it. We won't keep his laws and his commandments. We love to be oppressed.
And if we had to do it, we'd never get out of it.
Right.
Oh,
Let's
it's all
go to
I don't like it.
Deuteronomy 32. Let's go 8 to 9.
What's wrong with this stuff? Y'all love to be oppressed. I don't.
No, that's not Deuteronomy. Exodus. Sorry. Exodus 32. All right, y'all.
All right, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 32, verse 8. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it.
And we have done, we had took the Caesar Borgia and take him and worship him. Hey, as a people, you can't tell everybody, hey, Jesus ain't a white man. They love that. If you don't, he know that he Brian's come. That don't mean he black. And what difference does it make if he's black? That's another sign of being oppressed. Because they have put us in oppression that we have no way of knowing the man that hey, this guy is this Jesus, this Messiah is the white man.
Stockholm.
Yeah. That's a because when we tell them the truth, hey, they
Right.
Okay,
Glasses.
Y'all good.
I might need some glasses. Yeah.
let's go, y'all. Let's go ahead again. Some of that.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 32, verse 8.
Thank you.
Out of the language, they have made him a molten calf and have worshipped it and have sacrificed there unto and said, these be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
Same guy, same thing we done. They said they brought their gods with them. They was worshiping in Egypt, and they worshiped them after he even brought us out. Because, hey, we didn't love our God. We love them other guys.
All right. Chicken now.
Might be the schedule out of the line. You know how to check them.
All right. Back on.
Golden
Salaki, yeah, y'all. Salaki.
Tonight.
Mhm.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 32, verse 9. And the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people.
I have seen these people I have chosen. I love them because they stiff-necked. They will not listen. They will not hearken unto my voice. Hey, whatever I've done they don't want to hear it. There are people that you can't tell them. I have sent prophets. I have sent men of renown to give them this word, and they're still stiff-necked. They still will not listen. Still will not hear the words of the Most High. All right, let's go to Numbers 6:23.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 6, verse 23. Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, on this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, verse 24, the Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Verse 26, the Lord lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. 27, and they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them.
Do we want that? No, because we won't keep his laws. We won't do his commandments. All this that he's saying, say unto, this was Aaron saying, say unto them, the Lord will bless thee and keep thee. Are we kept as a people? No. We are at the bottom of everything. We're suffering. We're want for everything. We're not a nation who's not wanting for anything. These other nations sitting back looking down at us. Look at them. Where's their God at now? Why he ain't providing for them? They got such a great God. He's not doing anything for them.
You got our own people saying that.
Yeah, we got our own people saying that. We don't have no God. He ain't that God. We might as well be a Jehovah Witness, a Muslim, worship this stone and everything else. Because where is he? Hey, we suffering. Our children are being killed, being murdered. He's telling you why is this happening, but you're not listening. You don't want to hear that part.
And guess what? I will be sending out the damn wrath too.
Right, yeah. And I will bless them. We're waiting on the blessing. We know the blessing's coming. But they saying, hey, he said he's gonna bless us. Why we ain't being blessed? Why we at the bottom? Why we not doing nothing? Because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. That's why we suffering. This is why we're not being blessed as a nation. Well, because we won't come together. No, that's not it. It's somebody who's oppressing us. And he's suppressing us because we won't keep his laws and commandments. Hey, how can a man know his own ways? It's not us. And it's not even Esau. This is the Most High who's bringing this oppression upon us because we won't keep his laws, his commandments, and his statutes. Hey, that man can't do it. He only can do what the Most High is telling him to do. Because he's not even doing what he wanted. This is the Most High who chose this nation to come against us, who brought him up against us, came up with us, brought us from one land over to a land that we did not know, did not understand their language, didn't even know where we were. But we know that we were being oppressed. We were trying to run and didn't even know where we was running to. That's when they put them yokes of iron on us. Because we was running. We was trying to get away. The ones who was trying to keep the laws, commandments, and the statutes. We didn't know nothing. We didn't want this kind of bondage. We didn't sell ourselves to the enemy. We sold ourselves to somebody put a ring around your neck where you couldn't even walk through a tree. You couldn't walk freely. Chains on your ankles. Now, what man in his right mind would want that? Surely we didn't. We didn't ask to be in this bondage. We chose it because we wouldn't keep his laws and commandments. Because we had a choice in this thing. And it's the only thing that we did have a choice in. Keep his laws and commandments and live, or not keep his laws and commandments and die. Keep his laws and commandments, be free, or not keep his laws and commandments and be in bondage. We chose bondage. Again, we chose to be oppressed. We chose to be in this thing. Our forefathers say, hey, we'll give us, let me get Exodus 24, 1 and 3.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 24, verses 1. And he said unto Moses, come up unto the Lord, thou and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship ye afar off. Verse 2, and Moses alone shall come near the Lord, but they shall not come nigh, neither shall the people go up with him. Verse 3, and Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the judgments. And all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Lord hath said will we do.
Lord, they said that. They made a bondage with you, Father. Say, all that you say we will do. We're going to take it even further. Go down to 6.
Verse 6, and Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. Verse 7, and he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people, and they said, all that the Lord hath said will we do and be obedient. Verse 8, and Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant, which the Lord hath made with you concerning all these words.
That right there. That's blood in, blood out. Hey, we're not getting out of this thing unless we're keeping these laws and commandments. If we don't, we're going to die. We're going into the lake of fire. We made a covenant, a blood covenant. We say, we will do this. And guess what? We didn't do it. Guess what's going on with us right now? All these atrocities are coming on us. All these oppressive, being oppressed. Here in America, here in the four corners of earth, wherever we're at, we're oppressed peoples. It's not just here. It's everywhere. Wherever it is, that we're being oppressed. We're still being sold in some parts of the world as slaves. And this free country, America, knows about it, but they're a free country. Every man should be free. Why ain't they going over there stopping that? You know why? Because they part of it. You ain't gonna stop something that you're part of.
Mm.
They're in on this thing that they're doing. They want to get rid of us. And what can we do and how are we gonna do it with these Israelites? They growing. These Negroes, African American, you ain't either one. Because neither nation take us. America definitely hates us. And ain't no nation from Africa ever came over here and say, why are you oppressing our peoples like this? So we know we're not these peoples. So who are we? We are the true children of Israel. We are the Jews. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of.
Hey, can you read verse 8 again? Just stop at the period.
All right, verse 8. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, Behold the blood of the covenant which the Lord hath made with you concerning all these words.
Right. So think about it. Like, what do blood represent? It represents life. So when he's sprinkling that blood on the people, you're putting your life on the line. If you keep my commandments, therefore you're gonna have a good life. But this blood I'm sprinkling on, if you break it, your life is on the line. That means you're gonna be put to death. So therefore, that's what the blood covenant is, a life covenant. So we suppose that's what blood is your life. So we supposed to be doing what he's telling us. We made that blood covenant. When you make that oath with the Most High, you make a vow, whatever, hey, you got to keep it. He's like he said, man, like, hey, we don't keep his vows, man. He don't have pleasure in fools.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we be foolish. We're foolish to disrespect God when he given us everything that we need. We're foolish. Even still while we repent, even though we may know the law, statutes, and commandments, and we're working on trying to get better and better, and thank God for Yahweh Shai, we still a fool when we break the law. There's no shrugging shoulders when we break the law. It should be, it is what it is, you know, I'm gonna get back on my feet. It should be like, man, dang, I messed up, but I'm gonna get back on my feet. Because I know I've been dug in a hole for so long that I've been breaking this law for so many years to the point where, hey, I can't take these breaking the laws light. I have to take them in consideration of like, my life is on the line. And thank God for Christ. Thank God for Christ. Because, man, without him, we finished. Because that's why he put his blood to redeem us, to renew the life of us again, so we can be here and have another opportunity to connect with the Father. That's all I got.
All right, good. Sounds good. Okay. Let's go to let me get Maccabees. This is something my brother brought up last week, and it was a good one. It stuck with me. Maccabees 1 and 11.
That's what I was looking. That's what I was looking for.
Maccabees.
I know
First
exactly what you're going.
Maccabees.
That's what I was going with.
1 and 11.
All right, this is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many.
Who persuades us now? Our preachers. They have all the persuasion. Hey, you go up in that church, hey, they swear by white Jesus. And they persuade us to do that covenant with him and not with the Most High. The true God, the only living God, Yahweh, and his son, Yahweh Shai. Continue.
Saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen.
The heathen, who the Esau. Let us make a covenant with Esau. Maybe if we start taking on this white Jesus, maybe he'll be lighting on us. He'll lighten up on us. He won't hang us from trees. They won't cut our limbs off. They won't come down and get my wife and take him back up to the White House. Won't wake my children, my daughter, and then go and sell her off to another slave master. And this is what it is. And this is what we've done right here. Not only saying in the past, but we're still doing the same thing. He says nothing new on the earth. We're still doing the same things that we done back then. We're doing it now here in America. and around the world, wherever we're at. We're doing the same things. There's nothing changed. Continue.
That are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
Since we departed, since we come from around our enemies, let us go back and make a covenant with them. That we can be, because we was doing good when we was worshiping their idols. We was doing good when we could be in the steam room with another man and he bending us over. We was doing good. We were doing good. So why did we want to come out and stay to ourselves and keep the laws, commandments, and the statutes? We don't want to do that. We want to be amongst our enemy, where we can be saying that we can be approved. We fit in because now we're doing what they want us to do. Because we were the outcasts. Now we fit into somewhere because we're amongst our enemy. We can do, long as we doing what he said. Oh, I feel good. I live out in Southfield. I'm at the big club. I feel good. My best friend is that white guy over there. Yeah, okay. That's the same one call you a nigga. Soon as he get around from around you, and he get you fired. He mess around and do something against it. Up in there, see if he won't get you fired. Say won't he turn on you.
Hey, you ain't got to do nothing. He'll get you fired so you can come to him.
Yeah, that's true. I come in there with a new car and he ain't got one. Where you get that car? How you get that? Hey, they're envious people. Envious of people who don't have anything. Who's at the bottom, straight bottom. To take what little we have that we give our blood, sweat, and tears, and he'll take it from you. Because, hey, that nigga don't supposed to have what I got. That's wickedness. That's who they are. That's a being oppressed. That's being oppressed. And we don't even realize it. We think because we got a little bit, we ain't oppressed. Oh, I got a nice house. We got a nice car. My kid, we just sent 2 boys off to college. Ain't learning shit. Get out of college and can't even get a job. Unless they been an orphan. They ain't getting no job with that education.
Unless they're part of the
Party that
fraternities,
party down the church. That's right.
fraternity or sororities.
That's the only way they're getting in, and that's why you hear about this president. What's her name?
Kamala.
Who went to a fraternity with all black students and talking to them. Hey, that ain't nothing but saying, hey, I'm okay with your policies. Hey, we are good with it. We're going to work through it. We're going to get this education. Hey, and we're going to stay in this sorority. And then white boys going to bring us in and we're going to be at the bottom and they still going to be over us.
You know that's some wicked stuff. Ain't nothing but Edomites came up with them sororities, man. They got you. They want to drink toilet water,
Drink all kind of wicked shit and doing wicked things.
clean your clothes with toilet water, toothbrush.
And yeah, I think a lot of that stuff started in the early 1900s. So going that far back, man, that's crazy, man. How they was, starting all of that with the universities and all of that stuff, and especially whatever you call it, HBCUs and stuff. You starting all the way back then. Man, that's wild.
Yeah. All right.
Get all that boule stuff in.
You want to say something on that, Mike?
Hey, but nah, like going back, I'm glad you got that because that's what I was looking for earlier. Exactly like what we was talking about in Egypt, right? Like, go give me Ecclesiastes 1:9, right? Because it's the same thing, man. Like, ain't nothing different. What they were doing there, that's how we got to understand what our stubborn behinds was doing in the wilderness. What they did back then is going to still happen again. It's still going to happen again. And we just pray that it don't be one of us if we make it to the wilderness. We definitely got to pray on one another because, hey, we all think that when it comes down to the grain, we all think like, I know it ain't going to be me. Man, look at Peter. Peter was the first one. Hey, I ain't going to be the one that do it. I'm going to rock with you, God. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's what Peter was saying.
Always the loudest one in the room. Be quiet when the smoke comes.
Absolutely. When that trouble really comes, that's when, hey, it really hits. It hits hard. It hits different.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it really do. You have to really think about that. We have to be ready, being prepared for these things. Because we thinking like, hey, I know, I read the word. I know exactly what I'm going to do. You don't know nothing. Till you get in there. It just 1 and 9. Yep.
Ecclesiastes, all right.
Yep. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9.
All right, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 9. The thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
And no new thing under the sun. So guess what? When we read in verse 11, it says, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many. So you get that's what it's going to be, people persuading many. They'd be like, man, do y'all want to go back to oppression?
Mhm.
Well, look where we at, man. These mosquitoes tearing me up. We ain't got no offspring.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what is this crawling around my leg? All this type of stuff. We're going to be so uncomfortable, right? It's meant to be uncomfortable because, like what the Most High said, I brought them in there to try them. We're going to be tried just like they were tried. We got to get tried. Are we ready for this? We got to get ready because each day when it goes to another day, we're getting closer to getting out of here. It ain't waiting on nobody. We can't sit up here and just be thinking and moving and worried about Esau's devices and not realizing that our time is about to be out of here. We can't sit and play games all day. Right? So then it says, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. That's what we're going to be, a lot of our people are going to be thinking about America. Hey, ever since when we left America, man, I can't call my brother or my sister. I can't text them. I can't see them on TikTok videos. I'm in here now trying to learn the language of Hebrew. This is too much. I can't do this. And I can't sleep up on this hard ground. I miss my bed. All this type of stuff and excuses. So we have to pray for one another, man, and not just for ourselves. Pray for one another because it's coming.
Right.
The stuff is coming, man. And thanks for bringing that up because I swear I was looking for that one. I'm thinking it's in verse 50. As soon as you said 11, like that's where's it at? All praise to the Most High.
Let's go to Deuteronomy 7.
My Shwan say he want to bring up something.
Oh, yeah, you got Deuteronomy.
Nah, he passed that.
I passed that now.
Okay, which one you going to bring?
Galatians 3.
Deuteronomy?
No, Galatians 3.
Galatians?
This is going back when you was bringing out Mike Allen and our guys bring out how our people is, but this is Paul explaining like, you crazy or you stupid? Start at verse 1. Just start at verse 1.
Oh, wait, earlier.
Oh, there you go.
Wait.
Oh, okay. It's the book of Galatians, chapter 3, verse 1. O foolish Galatians, who have bewitched you.
So who put a spell on you to tell you this? I told you this, and you come down here and do the opposite.
All right.
Go ahead.
That ye should not obey the truth.
So right there, I come and tell you the truth. Now somebody else come down here, tell you something. Now you want to believe what they saying. We're like, what's up with y'all? Like today's times, you tell them the truth. Somebody else come right behind you. You tell them something. Don't believe them. They telling you lie. This is what you're supposed to do. Now instead of you listening to me, I tell you the truth. You want to listen to this person. Don't even know this person. When I'm coming to you, let you know, hey, we're going to be doing this. I've been teaching you this all this time. And now you want to let somebody just came up and tell you nonsense. That's how our people is. Because they want to put the world so bad before God so bad because they trying to desire their flesh. Like, I hear what you're saying, but I want to go out here and do this. But he telling me I can still do this, but the law tell you can't do it.
Sir. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Keep going. Let's want to keep going. That's it. That's it.
We will do the Deuteronomy 7, 14, and 15. Coming to an end. We'll get a few more.
Too long.
What's what you said? That's
7, 14, and 15.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 14. Thou shalt be blessed above all people. There shall not be male or female barren among you, or among your cattle. Verse 15. And the Lord will take away from thee all sickness, and will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which thou knowest, upon thee, but will lay them upon all them that hate thee.
All right. Is that one of our depressions? All these sicknesses that we carry? We lead the nation, and this here so-called America, in every sickness it is. We lead diabetes, cancer, high blood pressure, cirrhosis of the liver, drug use, loss of limbs. That's impressive.
Asthma, sickle cell, anemia.
See, that's got to be, that's impressive. Whoever come in this world and say, "Oh, I want to be a drug addict," or "I want to be I want to have cirrhosis of the liver when I'm 22." Nobody done that. That's a part of oppression. Why are we doing this? Why are these things coming? Because we're worrying about things. We're worrying about things that we have no power over. These are the things that God put on us. These are the curses that He brought forth and just say, "Hey, you ain't gonna listen to my laws. You want to do as the heathen do? I'm gonna give you the law. I'm gonna give you these diseases that you was afraid of in Egypt." These are diseases right now, because these same diseases was back then. There's nothing new under the earth. These same things that they're going through, high blood pressure, they had high blood pressure. They had AIDS, different names, but these things ain't nothing new on the earth. It still was here. We just didn't know them. We didn't deal with them. Once we got here and started going against the Most High, guess what? And these came in the later parts. Because they say, "Hey, whatever we don't do, curse our children yet to come. If we don't do it, hey, let our children, hey, put it on them. Don't put it on us." That's what our forefathers done. They wouldn't take it. Say, "If we don't do what you said, what we promised to do, then curse be our children that's yet to come." Guess who cursed? That's us. We are the ones who's dealing with these things. We are dealing with all these sicknesses right now. Our children. You find the children 7, 8 years old dying from diabetes, high blood pressure at 15, heart attacks at 17. This is a curse. That's oppressed. You're being oppressed. If that's not oppressing you, then hey, I don't know what to say for you. I'm oppressed even hearing about our people. I'm oppressed when our women's getting beat up, being shot in the face, being stuck down by these police officers, and I have to look at it. That oppresses me. I have to turn the TV off sometimes. I can't look at it because hey, this is my people. That's my sister. They doing it too. I'm not there. I can't help. But where our men's at? Some is there. Some of them they can't intervene because now if they bring them into it, guess what? That white man's gonna do the same thing to them. But we as a nation can stop these things from happening. If we start going back and keeping these laws, commandments, and the statutes and pray on him to him as a body of peoples, praying and asking him to come and get us out of this bondage. Come and get the 2/3 and do what you got to do with it, but bring your 1/3. Bring us home. We want to keep your laws and commandments. We want to do them. We're tired of being out here being a lost people, being a lawless nation within our own selves. Because we're in a lawless country. We know that. They only keep the laws for themselves. The laws that they're made are made for us. These laws, they going up to God. That's for us. That's to oppress us more. That's why these laws they come in effect. Laws they make that we don't even know about until it's been done. So you go in front of one of them judges and you don't know what they're talking about because you don't understand the language. That's what they're using. These laws being made right now that we don't even know about, and it's for to oppress us even more. So when are we gonna come up out of it and want to get out of this oppression? Want to go into our own land? Want to have our own lives? Want to police ourselves, govern ourselves? But guess what? We won't even have to do that because he said he's gonna put them on our inward parts that we won't worry about sinning or breaking the law because it's gonna be within us, and all nations are going to see it, and they're gonna see this got to be a great nation. A nation of the Most High, the only true living God. He's waiting for that day. We're waiting for it. For this to happen. For these other atrocities will get up off of us. That we can keep the laws and the commandments. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28.
Hey, can I go
Yes.
verse 14?
Yeah.
Read verse 14 again. This is oppression too. Both ways when you look at it.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 14. Thou shalt be blessed above all people. There shall not be male or female barren among you, or among your cattle.
Right. So if we kept the law, statutes, and commandments, guess what? Male and female will be constantly being fruitful and multiplied. That's the law. God said, be fruitful and multiply. Guess what's oppressing about that? It's sometimes you got brothers that can't produce. That's oppressing. When he's sitting there like he wish he can bring another seed to bring forth his generation. That's oppressing. Or his wife can't bear and hold. That's oppressing. Or then you got the reverse psychology of it is when now the blessing that we supposed to be having, we be like, hey, you about to have a baby. Hey. Now we about to have a baby now.
What I'm gonna do? I can't take care of the two I got.
Absolutely. Oppression. I can't afford this. You know, now we're mad because the gift, the baby is the gift.
Sure.
This is to bring your generation on and on. So God said, and we kept the laws, he said that there shall not be male or female barren. But guess what? We take the good and be like, I don't want to have no baby. And guess what? Hey, I'm one of them dudes right now that feel that way, that I got 5 kids, that if my wife become pregnant, they be like, all right, here we go, 6 on the way. It's not like I'm gonna be like, yeah, we pregnant. You know, that's the oppression.
That's right.
Hey, and let me jump on that. The other part of that is even while you're trying to live righteous, is because you don't want that child to come into this world.
That's
I gotta bring a child into this world, into this mess. With these people, with these evil people.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we got one going off to college, and I'm scared for her life.
No, right. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Not because I'm worried about her necessarily doing the wrong thing. It's the world.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They've been, you know what I'm saying? She's been under our roof 18 years. Now it's going off into the world. Next thing you know, it's this spirit, this type of spirit attacking, that kind of spirit attacking, things that you haven't really seen because you've been under that protection of the household. You know what I'm saying? Now you're going off on your own. It's like, hey, I got to make this decision. You know, you got to start making split decisions in certain moments. You can't call your mama. You can't call your daddy. You know what I'm saying? You have to make that decision. So you be scared for your child, and it's like, man, I don't even know if I want to bring another one in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
That's that oppression, man.
Yeah.
It's because we've been so trapped in bondage, and we've been hurt and broken to the point where that's how we feel. Like, man, we not like when you see a brother that has his first newborn baby, he's excited. His mother is excited. Then another one comes in, they're excited. Then when the third one comes, they like, hey, It start to smile and they all the way down to the ear, up to the ears. It's really just like, yeah, be president again.
Yeah.
And then another one comes like, yeah.
What I'm gonna do?
Right. You know what I'm saying? But this is what we go through, man. It's suppression. You know what I'm saying? Like now we're lost to thinking of like, man, like the box said, we don't even want to bring a child in this world no more because hey, look what's wicked around us. You know what I'm saying? Same thing like he's saying about his daughter. I got a daughter around his age. Around his daughter age. Right? She about to be out there and you just think about the things and the thoughts that they gotta see. And we like you said, man, the hedge of protection, they gonna be out there in their own stuff in their own world. So when they're not under your roof at night, and you hope that you don't get that phone call of something crazy or something that you gotta go ahead and save the day or hope everything is okay.
Right.
Hey, you know what? I know that's that. It's about to get worse than that. So especially when you're starting to really hits the fan too. Right.
Yeah.
We scattered all over the city, man. We gonna get to one another. Anything you want to bring a child to that was somebody breaking into your house, trying to knock your head off your food, and then your child just left there. Come on, man. That's just scary, man. Then, especially when we had to go out there on our pilgrimage, going from state to state, wherever. That would be hard. We get that baby some food because we can't eat what we can eat.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, man, that's something to think about that, man. I know somebody told me before, like, man, you should have faith. I mean, it's not about the faith, man. Look what we're about to come into. I don't want to bring a child through that. I really honestly don't.
Hey, that's why we know that it ain't up to us.
Yeah.
Most High gonna put whatever. If it's meant for you to have a child during those times, hey, you gonna get through it. You know what I'm saying? One way or another, you'll get through it.
What is it, like in Matthew 24 where it says, woe to those mothers that's in the child
I
suck.
got that too.
Yeah, you know, that's gonna be rough, man.
Write that out.
Matthew 24.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, like once of those that get sucked, once of those that get sucked in those days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's verse 19, 24 and 19.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 19. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
I said, hey, they're the ones who are having trouble. It's gonna be trouble for them. You know, it's not gonna be a walk through the park. They're going to catch hell because now you got a little child, and you don't know what's going to happen to that child, or where that child's life is going to end up there, or what's going to happen to him. Is he going to go into the way of the Most High, or he's going to go into the wickedness? You know, we worry about these things. Even I have grown children. I worry today. I worry about if I know they're going someplace. I worry about if they're going to make it back home. Because, hey, we have not learned. I wasn't into this truth to learn them, to teach them. Now they're adults, and it's hard to get them to understand. That is our whole trouble when we go out here on these corners, as we see young people, we see older people. They have been oppressed for so long. When we give them the truth, they don't hear it. They hear something completely different. I got till next week. I'll do that. I'll see y'all. I'll be right back. Mm-hmm. I'm going right down the street. I'm going to come right back and hear you. They're not coming back because, yeah, they don't want to hear that. That means you have to change. We don't want to change. We want to stay as we are.
They'd be like,
We love being oppressed.
That's too real for me. I'm good.
Yeah, we love being oppressed. We love being in this state. We love can't find a job. We love going to a job. You've been there 10 years, and they bring a white boy in who's been there 10 months. Now he's coming over you.
Hey, happen to me.
Like he's coming over you. He's telling you, and you got more experience on the job. But he comes out because he went to college for 6 months.
Or his daddy did.
Or his dad, how about he'll been there, and now hey, he's doing you.
You gotta watch.
That's impressive.
You gotta watch them slicks, how they slick they are, man. They'll put you in position and say, "Hey, man, you a good worker. I love the way you work. Can you train him?
Right,
You're
yeah.
training him
Right.
for him to take your position.
Right. That's why
Right.
That's what that is.
that's exactly why I got up out that corporate type working type space, because I can't handle that type stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I've been messed around and you know catch a case or something.
Yeah.
It's like that's
They
messed up.
will make you.
Y'all wrong as hell, man. Like
They'll make you want to do it.
I'm thinking the whole time, like, okay, I'm about to train this dude, everything about to be good and whatnot, and they about to let you go.
Yeah, it's a setup.
Yeah.
Because they can pay him less and take rid of the money they've been giving you for years and save money for the business. So hey, you do that to me, hey, I'm gonna train you wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I know you trying to. I'm a target on your back.
Yeah, when people start catching on to the tricks and stuff like that, they'll do that. They train them wrong and make sure that they fail.
Absolutely. Like I showed him everything. That's on him.
I got something.
Okay, let's go to Amos 3. Let's go to Amos 3 and 7.
Well, hey, I think Shemashwan said he has.
All right, go ahead. What you got?
Yes, these 10 and 7. What y'all was talking about?
What do you say?
Ecclesiastes 10 and 7.
Ecclesiastes.
How
These.
Ecclesiastes.
how these other nations it's up on high and we don't love it.
Yeah. 10 and 7.
Yeah, 10 and 7.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
So like after you grab that, grab Joshua 23 for me.
All right. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, verse 7. I have seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
And it's in today's times that you on your job or anywhere else, the servants is up on high and you ride low. You like, look at this. Oh Lord, I was here for 2 years or so, and he came in right above me.
Right. You got the high-low job and you still walking around.
Yeah,
You couldn't get the high-low job. They wouldn't give it to you.
Nah, he the supervisor.
Yeah. And you like, how is this possible? And I've been here, I got way more experience than this person.
Right,
And now
yeah.
they're trying to tell me what to do.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that during the pandemic or whatnot. A lot of people was getting let go. And people was losing their position to other people. Because they was cutting down on staff or whatnot. See people lose their job. They had a job for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and lost everything. Now they got to start all over. I went through that when I was at the airport. I was there for 4 years and got let go. I'm like, all right, cool. It's all good. And that's when I'm like, all right, I'm about to go try and find me a skill trade. That's even better.
Yeah.
Grab that from Joshua 23. Because it's going right along with that. Because that servants, they seen servants riding upon horses. It's because we didn't want to get them from around us.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what this is going into. You can start at verse 11 all the way down to 16.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 23, verse 11. Take good heed, therefore, unto yourselves, that ye love the Lord your God.
Which we know we didn't do that. Go ahead.
Verse 12. Else, if ye do in any wise go back and cleave unto the remnant of these nations, even these that remain among you, and shall make marriages with them, and go in unto them, and they to you.
All right, we know that we love. Hey, go out there to Sterling Heights. You're gonna see Jake with Esau all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? Go out there to Novi, all of these, rich white cities. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see him with them, right? Go ahead.
Verse 13. Know for a certainty that the Lord your God will no more drive out of any of these nations from before you.
See that? So the Lord say, if you go back to them, He not gonna take them from among you no more. So this is why you're gonna get servants riding upon horses. It's gonna be the script is flipped now, because we didn't want to be from around them, right? Go ahead.
But they shall be snares and traps unto you, and scourges in your sides, and thorns in your eyes.
Look, we hate to look at them. We hate the sight of them because we know what they're about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just like y'all was just saying, you know what they do with the job. You know, they'll bring them in. They ain't like Elder say, they'll be there for 10 months. You've been there for 10 years. Here it is, making more money than you. And they telling you what to do. You know everything about that job way better than they do. But here it is. They scourges in your side. Right? Go ahead.
Until ye perish from off this good land which the Lord your God hath given you. Verse 14, and behold, this day I am going the way of all the earth, and ye know in all your hearts and in all your souls that not one thing have failed of all the good things.
See that? So now one thing have failed. We know this. When we left the wilderness, our ancestors, they knew nothing that the Most High said that was going to be happening, whether it's good or bad, right? We know that all of it didn't fail, right? The good things, right? Go ahead.
Which the Lord your God spake concerning you. All are come to pass unto you, and not one thing have failed thereof. Verse 15, therefore it shall come to pass that as all good things are come upon you,
Right. So just like the good things that happen, I got you out of here. I'm bringing to you your land. Each tribe, y'all got y'all inheritance, right? Read.
which the Lord your God promised you, so shall the Lord bring upon you all evil things.
Yep. That's why, again, servants upon horses. That's an evil thing, right? Read.
Until he have destroyed you from off this good land which the Lord your God have given you.
Right. So not only that was when that's talking about our homeland, right? That's even over here now. We're being destroyed because of we didn't want to do this back then. We didn't want to get them from among us, right? Read.
Mhm.
Verse 16, when ye have transgressed the covenant of the Lord your God, which he commanded you, and have gone and served other gods, and bowed yourselves to them, then shall the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and ye shall perish quickly from off the good land which he hath given unto you.
See that? That's all. Hey man, shout out to the name of the lesson, because this is Israel loving this thing all day long.
Right, yeah.
We love for
punishment.
right.
We
We
love it.
love we love these other nations so much that we gonna take the whooping. I done been there plenty of times. Like I know I'm gonna get in trouble if I do this, but I'm gonna go do it anyway. I'm gonna take the whooping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we do this. That's the mindset as us coming up as children. Just imagine our ancestors. They like, okay, we got all these good things happening. I could take the punishment that's gonna come.
Right,
No,
yeah.
hey, no, you can't.
Right.
We don't like this.
Right.
And you gotta look at when the brothers and the sisters come together in relationships and they mess around and have a baby, and then when things don't go right in that relationship, what do a lot of times the sisters do? She runs into the oppressor to like, hey, he needs to be on child support. You know,
Right.
knowing that his situation, he may have records from police from a past and everything, and he's just trying to make ends meet. And just because you have a grudge and you have hatred towards them, hey, now you run into the oppressor say, hey, I'm gonna take all this money from you as much as I can. So we be pressing one another.
Yeah.
And we enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like the payback. I got you now. Now you're suffering. That's these curses that we allow to happen to us. And since we're in this truth now, we can overcome the curses. There's no such thing to hold on to the curses when we know the laws.
Right. Right.
There's no such thing to be like, hey, it's just the curses. No, it's the laws now. The curses was the curses. The curses are still amongst us, but we can beat it now through the laws. All right.
Right.
That's it.
Right. And I'm gonna give you an example of what you just said about what we can think. And I got this wrote down on the Tulsa race massacre. All right, we went and got a city and built it up, and guess what? They came and destroyed it. You think they wasn't depressed? They wasn't depressed that day, seeing everything they had built up.
It's the Black Wall Street.
That the Black Wall Street. That hey, if they came right in and took it, bombed us, killed hundreds of people in Tulsa. Everything they worked for, because hey, down the press, we gonna oppress these niggas. These niggas are getting up too high. We gonna put them back in the press.
And you see,
They ain't getting ready to have this city. We gonna make them get back out here and work for us amongst in our cities, in their ghettos, because they put us back. 'Cause this was a city that was built up, nice. They destroyed it.
They ain't making no money.
They destroyed it because the oppression came on us. Because that comes from the Most High. He say, hey, we thought we was out there. He say, no, I'm bring y'all right back because y'all ain't listening. You won't listen because we still wasn't even at that time keeping his laws, commandments, and his statutes. We had started, boy, we started in that city. All white Jesus was all through that white city, through that black city. White Jesus was all through that black city, even though they was black Israelites. White Jesus was in that church they was going to. That picture was up on their walls. We were still worshiping the idol. I say, you gonna say and press. I'm gonna press you even more. I'm gonna let them come and bomb me now. Now you and I'm gonna let them kill you. Now you got wives who oppressed now. They can't where I'm gonna go. I just lost my husband, I just lost my children. I don't have nowhere to go.
Section 8.
That's got to be oppressive. That's oppressive.
In today's times,
Yeah. They crying, they ain't had nothing to do. They're oppressed. They wanted to kill them. They was doing what their monkeys wanted to do. Jump off buildings. They wanted to kill themselves. I can imagine. You done worked hard for everything you got. Here your oppressor again come right back and take everything you built up.
yeah, you can tell that the Most High built them up to bring them back down.
That's right. That back into oppression.
But you can also see, you know, from the good side of that or positive side of that, with us working together with each other or whatnot.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure there was no hate, you know.
Right, yeah.
No
They was working within
or
there.
anything like that to actually infrastructure and build up, you know, a city and banks and, you know, your own little, you know, civilization and stuff where
Right.
all money is working in between each other and stuff like that or whatnot, where you got the carpenters that's actually
All your people, you hiring your own people, they
Right,
doing
right.
the work within
Exactly.
your community. So money was staying right there.
Right.
Everything was staying in that community. Our enemy didn't want to see that. And guess what? And the father said, hey, your curses ain't going nowhere. Your curses you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. Some curses are still here. You ain't going nowhere. You still go serve your enemy.
yeah.
You still gonna have to want to go back and want everything from me. Because even though we was dealing them on the outside, but we still had our own instruction. We were still making each other wealthy. We wasn't looking for him for everything.
Hey, I believe also, and it's just my opinion, probably was a mold. You know what I'm saying? We always had a mold that always breaks something down. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about who was the mold of Christ? Judas.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You had Judas to be the mold, right? You got to find. Hey, he had to go ahead and give him a kiss. Like,
Yeah,
this
right.
is the sign to let you know this is him. You know what I'm saying? We always had the most. So guess what? We had
Somebody
we had
was in
somebody
there.
that's in there inside of the group,
Like
telling
that.
them, telling the police thieves, and they giving them money, or they probably giving the brother drugs.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Somebody gotta it's something happens
Right.
because they have to find out if, like, think about it. If we are all together and this is our secrets and we're not telling nobody, someone's talking.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Someone's talking, just
They
like
have
how
to
the
make
Israelite movement is happening, right? How people realize it or recognize it. Hey, of course, man, we got YouTube and everything, but guess what? Somebody else is talking.
On the inside.
They making videos bad mouthing us.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Some more.
And their own peoples.
But they,
Within our own communities. And within all that. Because just like you said, when we was out there and we was being on the job, now they're in our neighborhoods right to this day. And guess what you seeing us doing? Walking right beside them.
Mm-hmm.
We're right hand in hand. Oh, this is my friend, this is my neighbor. And you see them together now every day. First you was last week, you couldn't stand them. Now you with him every day. Y'all at the liquor store. Y'all at the cigarette at the filling station buying blunts. So he's out there, he's getting you out, but guess what? He's telling on you too.
yeah.
You don't know what they had set up and put in our neighborhoods, what they're in there doing, but you're seeing them walking up and down the neighborhood. But we're fine, we're comfortable with it. But we can't go out there and walk that neighborhood without the police being called. Oh, he's out here. He's doing something. He's getting ready, breaking houses. Hey, well, I live right around the corner. I can't walk around the block.
Right.
Hey, these are oppressed. We being oppressed. This oppression ain't going nowhere until we start keeping these laws, commandments, and statutes, and we come together as a people, as I said before, praying on to the Most High, changing our ways, and doing what He tells us to do. That's when we're going to get a change. That's when we're going to get out of here.
On that Tulsa incident, there's some people still alive from that, and they still oppressed because they still got their money holding from them.
Oh yeah,
$millions.
yeah. And they supposed to be giving it to them.
They not releasing.
Yeah. They ain't gonna do it to them until they die. Then ain't nobody else to get it. And then they get, guess what? Goes back into their pocket.
It's either that or it's gonna be they're gonna wait till it's too late for them to use it.
Yeah, but hey, if you're 90 years old, what you gonna do with the money? They're already 90, but they do have families. Some of them got families you could go to. But you find some that don't have nobody. What they gonna do with it?
You know that?
That's why I say they ain't gonna do nothing but take it right back from them. Like what they do to us right now.
Yeah, because even if you leave it to your kids gonna blow it.
Yeah, 'cause whatever we do, they build it up and they take it right from us. We don't own a house because we don't pay taxes. They coming to get it. If you don't pay insurance on that car out there, you can't drive it and be safe. Anything we do, we have to go to them. They have to pay. So ain't no getting around this oppression.
The crazy thing about that is that Tulsa is one of the most dangerous cities in America too.
Yeah, today. Yeah. Because that's why they got them oppressed out there. They would never let them build up again out there. Not us. Hey, they gonna keep them niggas down out here. They ain't gonna give them no jobs. We have them killing each other. We gonna put guns in that neighborhood. We gonna put them drugs in that neighborhood. They'll never do that again. They'll never do that again. And on that, I think that anybody got anything else to say?
You all set?
I'm all set.
This was a really good lesson, brother.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Great.
it's like
Afraid.
Great listening.
Okay, so we gonna go. Somebody got edified by that, and hey, especially within our community, within the Israelites. So don't think that hey, you up just because this truth is coming into you and you're doing it. We need to bring our other brothers and sisters in this, and go out and put the work in, put your brick in, speak to somebody on your job, even if they don't want to hear. At least bring it to them one time. And give them that understanding. Hey, you're not free. You still being oppressed every day. So don't think, hey, because you live out in the suburbs and I'm in the hood, I'm happier in here than I would be in the suburbs. Because I still know what I got to do up in here. Because when you go to the suburbs, you live too far out there, you think you got everything. Or you're not oppressed. You think you ain't no nigga no more. Because they will let you know who you are. It's just a matter of time till they come to you with it. But it's gonna come. Even if not you, it's gonna be with your child. Your child gonna come home and say, hey, I don't like out here no more. I want to go back to my old neighborhood. And you find that out. Find that now. Yeah, they don't want to be out there. They're out there because they have to be. But at any rate, hey, the Most High bless you, keep you. Bless your home, bless your family. And most of all, let us bless the Most High and give him thanks and all the glory and the Son, Yahweh Shai, for all that he's done, all that he's doing, and yet what he's getting ready to come to get us out of here. All praises.
Praise the Lord.
Shalawam.
Shalom.